Hi everyone, so give me a second, please. Let me share my screen quickly. Okay, Peter, could you please confirm that you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Awesome. Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Paul. I'm the CEO and founder of FuseBase. And today our first case study webinar. And we are launching a new series of webinars where we invite our clients who use FuseBase on a full scale. And the goal is to share real-life applications for client-facing businesses from the perspective of professional service providers. So we want to bring real-life stories and especially various tips and tricks, even as those who just watched our small talk with Peter, there are some things that even I have no clue that it's possible to do in FuseBase, which is pretty cool. So particularly today, we have a webinar, the topic, how consultants can save time and drive growth with client portals, which is just a part of FuseBase. So who we are, for those who the first time watching us and see the FuseBase and me, FuseBase is an end-to-end client collaboration platform which effectively brings internal and external collaboration in one place to streamline operations with various automations and AI copilots. And your benefit is that's to eliminate your low-level administrative tasks to focus on billable hours and deliver outstanding client experiences. Today, our focus will be around consulting businesses, agencies, coaching, and training. Even though we cover a lot more different types of professional services, but today we specifically have consulting vertical. And we invited our expert, Peter. Peter, please say hi.
Hey, hello.
Hi. So Peter, he is a ECM director, coaching director for City to City in Europe, a seasoned coach, trainer, and consultant within a 10+ years track record of transforming visions into actionable strategies for individuals, organizations, and churches. Peter successfully trained high-potential startup teams and delivered innovative training programs that drive results. And I think this results is very important. So today's the purpose of the webinar is to learn how to overcome the biggest time-wasting activities that consultants face, find out tips for creating a streamlined and organized consulting workflow, explore how FuseBase client portals solution empowers consultants to build a scalable business. And we target outcome where you have a clear idea how to improve your efficiency. Peter, do you want me to cover the problem slide? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, please, Will.
Yeah.
Please do.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So today, Peter specifically will cover two sides of everyday challenges as a consultant and trainer. So number one, amount of time spent on effectively balancing team coordination with delivering outstanding client support. And number two is coordinating numerous actions and people to deliver exceptional service experiences for clients, trainees, and field staff. So, Peter, the stage is yours. Please share your story and how you use a FuseBase in a day-to-day operation. So let me stop sharing my screen.
Thank you. So, as a consultant working for a different group of organizations, and both of these organizations have actually a number of teams per organization. So I work with a team in Budapest, I work with a team in Athens, I work with a team global wide with an English speaking language. And in all these teams, we do different things. We have documents, we have projects, we have programs, we share information, etc. And what we do together is actually provide materials for others, like training materials or training itself. And in order to work together, we have been using FuseBase more and more. And I think 2 or 3 years ago, we even started working. We've actually used FuseBase to maintain and organize and how would you say that, build our websites. So we use FuseBase often. And that's why I was invited in as a client for how do we use FuseBase. So behind me is Paris, for example. There will be a training in French very soon, and our team needs to develop French materials and a French part of the training. And we have a website. Let me show you where we are. We have a website where all our training materials are all together. That website is actually not a website. It is a portal from FuseBase, where FuseBase would say this is actually the restaurant where everything that you have been preparing in the kitchen is served in the restaurant. So we have a website which is not a website, but it's FuseBase. And on the other hand, we have also the kitchen, where all the materials we are working on and with is in FuseBase, and that's where our team is working. So that's what I would call the kitchen. Let me explain that a bit differently on a screen. As you can see, we use FuseBase in order to really work together well. So that's what we do together as teams in different projects. And just to make you understand how we actually work together in projects and teams, a quick back here, you can see how many boards I use. I use all kinds of boards with a different group of people, and all these boards are all for the different project and teams. So all our stuff is organized in different boards, and per board we have teams and projects. And because of that structure, I can add this person, like this French team, to this board, and that Hungarian team to that board. That makes it possible for me as a consultant to maintain the different groups and have in one place all the overview. So if you see that you work together, you have the different boards. That's why I listed all these little icons here. And two of our boards have had a link to a website. This one and that one are linked to the website. And we have actually two portals made in FuseBase. They're both linked to different domains. There are domains, but FuseBase made it possible with a technical team to make that possible, to link actually your domain with FuseBase. And now that it's linked, I can put pages from FuseBase and make them visible in the portal. So we work together. And on the other hand, we have lots of documentation and attachments that's all in these different boards. And I mean, we talk about a training in English of 100 pages. And if you have a training of 100 pages, that means that you have like a French information is 100 pages, an English one is 100 pages, a German one is English 100 pages. We are maintaining like 500-600 pages all in FuseBase. And to make that possible, we work in FuseBase because that's where we say, hey, this page needs to be improved. Let's make a little action. Hey, Johan, my Dutch colleague, needs to redact this one. Oh, that person needs to change that. That person needs to translate that. That's how we do it with actions in FuseBase. But I'm not going to talk about actions. That's too easy. I'm going to talk about how you then use that to organize that stuff online. So we go back to making this possible. So you have your FuseBase content, and you want to have this also visible online. So the beautiful thing that is made possible is that this space, Start Together, is actually this space. This is the website page. This is the kitchen page. And I can easily change this page content, which I'm doing right now, actually. So this is live. And I think this page doesn't look good. I think this should be larger. And this title actually should not be a title, but it should be, this is the title. So I change this on the fly. And once it's changed, I will just refresh my screen. And that is then done online. So I don't maintain a website. I don't maintain a training website. What I actually do is I use FuseBase to organize our website and all the training materials. And the one thing I only have to do is link a page from FuseBase to the portal. So to us, this is where FuseBase shines, maintaining a lot of material together in a team And it saves us a lots of time. No documents, no emails, no stuff going back and forth, no cloud documents. It's all in one place. And everybody is working in that same environment. And the paid version is where all of our people in the staff work together in that team. And then we put it on, we link it to the portal, and the portal is maintained. One advantage there is none of my colleagues knows anything about HTML or about what are the terms, CSS,
CSS,
building WordPress, stuff like that. We don't know, because FuseBase is using the portal technology so that we only work on the content, and FuseBase makes it possible to actually see that everything online. And another, so we have a number of, this is another board that I wanted to show you. This is our onboarding board from a different project and a different consultancy. But that board also looks different because that has a different look and feel to it. And this board has a lot of information in Dutch, where our team is working in. And some of that stuff can be changed, etc. And so this is where, to us, once I'm in the back portion of that, I can change all the content here in the FuseBase portal, and I can change and add stuff in the FuseBase kitchen. And still, the portal will look great. And as a consultant, I want to have my clients think, wow, that's really well done. Or if I change content, they would say, oh, yes, that's really, really very helpful. Or, hey, you've added that information just now. Thank you so much. So I share information all the time in a public way. One other thing, sometimes I need to share something privately, just for one person. So one last thing that is really helpful is, suppose I would be in a specific page. Let me go to a specific page in FuseBase. This is again, no, this is too private, sorry. Let me go to a public one. This is a page that I want to share with a number of people. Then I would just say, let me share this. Let me make a quick link. And I need to show that, of course. So I'm opening a page. I'm saying share my page. I'm sharing that page with somebody. I enable a link. I write down a quick password because, of course, I want this not public but private. And then, of course, FuseBase makes it possible to say copy my link and password. So I copy my link and password. I have a very quick tip. Always put your password and link on the same page so that you actually know what you have shared. And sometimes I even say with whom, because else I would not know that anymore. And this link can be sent through email, and that person has access to that page. So we share stuff in the team. We share stuff with some private people, and we share stuff in a public way through our website FuseBase portal. I think that's a very quick overview of how I use FuseBase. At least there's lots of things to be added to this, but let's stop here first.
Here, thank you. It's amazing how much content, especially on the different languages you put and you distribute. That's pretty amazing. Do you want to share some tips and tricks about the FuseBase, maybe the AI part or something else?
I use, thanks. That is actually a great question. We started using FuseBase because we have been working on first an English version, then we wanted to change to a German version, and then to an Hungarian version of some materials. And in order to do that, we have to translate that. And before we used FuseBase, we had to do that by asking a translator. I don't speak Hungarian, but we needed an Hungarian translator. Nowadays, FuseBase has integrated AI into its portal, into FuseBase itself. And I bought actually into the AI because AI is a plugin, I think, Paul. But let me show you how we use this. So I have a Dutch page, and normally I would translate the whole page, but let me just do it quickly, and I would only translate this little portion. I would say use AI. No, let's go back, because did you see that actually this layout has a header, has some text, has another header, has some bullet points, etc. So if I want to translate this, FuseBase, instead of ChatGPT, where ChatGPT can translate this stuff from text to text, FuseBase is able to translate this stuff to translate, in this case, to English. And then I don't know how you did that, Paul, but FuseBase is, as of now, translating the Dutch text to English, and you can see that online happening. But you can also see that the layout that has been in our in FuseBase, and it's the header 1 and header 2, etc., is all translated and taken out. And then when I put that back, I have an English text, and it's layouted exactly in the same way as the Dutch version first. Can you imagine what that means when you want to have 100 pages from English to Hungarian? So it takes us now like 2 hours to translate 100 pages with AI. The layout of these 100 pages are exactly the same as they were in English, but now they're in Hungarian, Magyar. And then we have somebody in our team working through it to have the text exactly as it should be in Hungarian. And we link it to the portal, and we have our Hungarian training. Before, it took us like 60 hours of translation, redaction, and portal. Now we're back to 22 hours. I've been calculating 22 hours. So it saves us 1 whole week of work and way less people. And mostly it's because of AI and using the layouting tool that FuseBase provides. So my tip is do a good layout. 2, use AI. And if you want to have public information for different languages, then use a portal.
Awesome. Yeah, I think AI, that's one of those things that brings a huge productivity boost for the companies. And from what we see, the main problem for professional services, people that work with people outside the organization, is that people usually not very tech savvy or not very motivated to learn how to use a project management tools. And usually you end up having a decent system for internal collaboration, but for the external, it's just everywhere. And with the FuseBase, the way how we design it, bring everything in one place.
I think that is you formulated much better than I can do, but we don't have version maintenance. So we don't have an iteration of version 1, version 2, or version 3 in the website. Our training is only in FuseBase, and the latest version can be seen in the website. And the website is actually coming from FuseBase. So we only work in one place, but it shows up in 2 places. And we only work here, and that saves so much time, but also so much thinking about what is the version, what's the document that we are now working in. And then you put task list to it and say, this page needs to be changed. Mm-hmm. And somebody is working on it, and live, that change happens actually on the fly. So it saves so much time, but also so much thought processes. It's really, really beautiful.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. So thanks for your presentation. That's pretty amazing. And FuseBase covers a lot more use cases. That's why we want to have such webinars as today. So let's proceed to Q&A section. I see already a few questions. And the first question is to you. That's from Jenny. Hi, Peter. What was your initial trigger to start looking for such solution like a FuseBase? So basically, what happened in your life so you decide, okay, I need to fix that?
Well, I'm a bit of a nerd. So I like to check out good programs. And I was using OneNote and NoteJoy and all kinds of different noting programs. And then I thought, hey, but I want to add with my team also actions. So I was looking for a program that has actions and notes. And we also used Google Docs with, I think, more than 1,000 documents and contracts and stuff like that. And it was all maintained on Google Docs, and nobody could find anymore where it was. And it was not combined. So then suddenly I was looking into on the internet, and I found then Nimbus Note. And I still remember, this is a program where note-taking and actions and grouping through boards is possible. Let me try this out. And once I started using it, I became really enthusiastic.
Awesome. Yeah, and just for those who first time here, we used to have a name Nimbus, but since we started to fully focus on professional services, we changed the recently name for FuseBase, but we're the same team, the same company. Yep. Thanks, Peter. And the second question, as I understand, Ellison, she's asking, what do your clients and partners think from their perspective using FuseBase when you share your information? So basically, now people kind of asking how or what kind of feedback you got from the actual from the people that you share the information.
So maybe two parts of that answer are, one is when I send out an email to a number of people with a PDF that they can read, they will have to look into their email or into their tablet to see what is actually in the email and then into the PDF that I send out. Now I would just send out a link and I say all our information is on the portal and this particular page has your answer, for example. So one is we don't send out emails anymore and stuff, but we just send out a link for a website. And that makes clients much more happy because actually it's not only a one-time email, they are provided with, and that's particular information that they want, but also they can just find it back again and again and again because it's actually on the web. That's one part of the answer. They like the fact that they don't get all these emails and documents and it's not filling up their mailboxes. Mm-hmm. The second is everybody knows how to work with a website. Nobody needs to be able to learn how to actually work with a website. Everybody knows. But not everybody has a good PDF reader, or somebody is using his mobile or her mobile and cannot access that PDF or has a question. So now that we use websites as our main information tool, we are way happier, and our clients think, oh, this is so easy. This is actually what we do.
Okay, thanks, Peter. Yeah, so thanks, Peter. So the next question, I think that's for me. How does FuseBase differ from other solutions? It's a great question. I think the way how we design it from the very bottom, from the very beginning, we were focused on professional services, and as I mentioned in the beginning of the presentation. We cover external and internal collaboration, basically like bringing, like in a great restaurant, both worlds like into one place. And based on that, you can build a very effective workflow, utilize AI. We also have coming up a workflow automation platform, which is we didn't cover today. But the goal is to have a professional environment for your team internally, but you don't want your clients to feel like they're in a kitchen. So that's why we have like a dining area, which that's what Peter mentioned. You have a client-facing portals, which look like a micro websites. And I like the analogy that Peter just used. It looks like a website, and everyone knows how to use a website. And if you think about any other solutions on the market, you may have a great project management systems, but they cover only internal collaboration. And there are some client portal solutions as well on the market. However, they're not covering your internal operations. So your data and your processes still will be on multiple different platforms, which is not very effective and confusing, which burns your productivity, and you can't focus on the strategic goals, billable hours to be very productive. And I think this is what makes our platform great.
Yeah, because I've been working with WordPress websites, and we use different website platforms before, and we still use a website as a kind of calling card website, what I would say. But for documents, for training, for manuals, and for stuff that changes all the time, you don't want to go into a website program. You need actually a program where you can just change stuff all the time. And by doing it that way, and I could not find any program that is able to maintain actually a good website like portal, or unless we talk about FuseBase, or it is so very technical that I don't know how my teams and I are working with it on the kitchen part.
Yeah, actually, the last point brings us to the next question is about the learning curve. So, how do you think, Peter, from perspective of your team, like the client side, how much time they would need, and what about the internal team?
So working in Nimbus was a bit easier than working in FuseBase, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Nimbus was a bit simpler in its environment, but the whole structure of FuseBase and OneNote and all these other programs is um, you have, let me share my screen there, that's just the quickest thing. You have all your documentation on the left side. And within that documentation in these folders, you just open and close these folders, and you then go there and you go into a specific page. So for my colleagues and they actually don't need any training to work on this part of document maintenance. That was so very, very easy. The moment we start about talking about tasks list and how you use task list and a task list overview, we talked about it like 2 or 3 times in a couple of weeks. So we had very little learning curve. The second part is the portal. Building the portal itself and linking the pages is not done by everybody. It's only done by 1 or 2 people,
Mm-hmm.
me and my colleague most often. But the maintenance of the portal is again done by my colleagues because they just work in FuseBase, and that's easy. So there's no learning curve to work on the portal. The only thing that and that was a tip for me, for everybody, if you have and a FuseBase and a portal, I always say open up in your screen in the browser your FuseBase and also open up your portal so that what you change here can
Mm-hmm.
also be seen so that you actually know what your clients see for the public pages. But for the rest, the learning curve was really, really short.
Yeah, so I totally agree with you that the FuseBase it's a little bit more, because we brought more functionality. It takes some of your time. So for those like who is considering, we will have personalized demos, and we have a team so can help you to build the first portal and provide you additional training. And I think for internal collaboration, there is still a learning curve. It's not that huge, but I think it's as for any professionals, if you want to deliver professional services, you need to know how to learn. So it's going to take some time, and we can help. But the most important for the client side is there is no learning curve because it's just a portal side.
Yes, and I think also like when you use Word or Excel, most of us can use the basic stuff in Word or Excel, but you have to be a professional to squeeze out all the
Mhm.
different formulas and different ways to do stuff well. So FuseBase in its simplest form is very, very easy. If you start working with all kinds of different tools within it, then you have to do a little bit of learning. That's really true. But some things have been, I mean, Paul, one of the things that I like about the team in FuseBase is I never actually was trying to understand how a domain can be linked to FuseBase. I just asked your people, and they, within 2 or 3 or 4 hours, they said, just do this and just do that. And they sent me a screenshot, and I just did what I was instructed to do. It's like a one-time thing. I don't need to learn that. I need to learn how to use it, but I don't need to learn how to link it once.
Right,
So
that's actually a great point.
is that
Yeah.
something that you guys always try to do?
Mm. Yeah, so we always help on some of the steps, like as you mentioned, connecting to the CNAME, so fuse based to your domain name, so to make it fully white label. It's kind of like a more like a different type set of skills, like a DevOps admin stuff. So that's why we have this our team. Sometimes we even like join through on a Zoom call, just share a screen and show it internally. But that's, as you mentioned, it's like just one time thing. And this is why we are here to help, and we invest into long-term relationships. So that's why we are okay to spend some extra time from our side, because we know that our clients will stay with us for a long time. So I think it's kind of slightly different business model compared to some other companies that just want to get like a quick outcomes from the clients. Our case is just long-term relationships.
Yeah, and I think my suggestion is also that you never learn how to actually understand how to connect your domain to FuseBase because it's so technical and so
Mhm.
specific. It's not for consultants like me to have to learn it, but maybe another thing, Paul, here is again to my screen.
Mm-hmm.
This is a public website which is in our public domain, and this is linked actually from FuseBase to our public domain, and I got help from your team to make this happen. But this is not a public domain. This is a private domain.
Mm-hmm.
And this domain is maintained within Nimbus. It's still called nimbusweb.me, M-E. And I never make this on a more public scale because it's not necessary. So this was actually done by myself because there was no technicality involved. I just started the wizard of the make the portal.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's pretty flexible. So if you want to, like, you can use both of the options. So we are already 30 minutes. I see one of the question with I hear a lot. It's what about CRM, billing, and invoicing? So sometimes when people looking for client portals, they expect not only the internal collaboration, like and external, just the collaborations. They will expect the client portal to cover like a wide range of use cases, like a lead generation, like built-in automations for that, proposals, billings, and other stuff. So what we've done so far, we do have a module for that. We're just launching, and we are partnered with one of the companies as a wholesaler, and so we can provide a great discounts. And now we cover this use case using that company, which is pretty established. And in this case, now you can have the full suite to run your business. So you have CRM pipeline module, proposals, invoicing, calendar, billing, things like that. So on a engagement side, and then you have a FuseBase. So once you have got a client and you need to collaborate with your client, you have a FuseBase hub and you can fully operate. So we covered both options. And again, like if someone needs that, just let us know. And I think it's better to do through the demo so we can show all of that. It's not possible to cover everything in 30 minutes.
No, I saw something from a guy called Amadeus, and I thought that is a very quick question to answer still. Although I would love to actually try out the CRM module, but that's for a later topic. At the moment you want to talk about PDFs, I have a page here where I put all my documents in, and the PDF reader is here in the bottom. So my PDFs are actually in FuseBase. And I have the same kind of PDFs also on the website, because once it's embedded in the FuseBase and you link that page to the portal, that PDF can be is visible as an embedded PDF on the website. And so I have a number of things on my website where you say, can you read through this manual? And then the PDF itself is shown. You cannot edit it, but you can read it in the website. You can also read it on your mobile. And the funny thing is, when I have a new PDF, I just swap the old PDF out and embed the new PDF in, and that version, so that my version maintenance, like from PDF number 1 to PDF 0.2, then it's just a swap of these two PDFs. So in my case, my version maintenance is done actually in Nimbus, or in FuseBase, I should say now, and I just put in a new embedded PDF. So that's how we actually try embedding. So we embed videos, we embed PDFs, we embed actually all kinds of stuff, but we embed it in FuseBase, and it's visible in the portal. And once we have a new version, we just embedded the new version in FuseBase, and it's shown in the portal or in the website. So that's how we actually maintain versions.
Right. So, and also I see the question from Amadeus in terms of the Excel and Word files. So we usually suggest to embed Google Documents and Google Sheets because Microsoft is more kind of isolated environment. Technically you can embed Microsoft 365 version of it, but still it kind of opens a new tab if you want to edit. So Google Docs in general, it's more open environment for companies like ours. You can fully embed Google document, and if you share it with editable permissions, so your clients and your team can modify Google document right inside the FuseBase, so they don't need to go to like a new tab page. So So we usually recommend the Google Docs, but if you still want to work with Excel and Word files, you will need to download them and then re-upload them.
But actually, there is a workaround in FuseBase itself.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Yeah. Again, if I share my screen, you can see that I have here a PowerPoint file, and I would say open this in a new tab. I can do that in the document that's just embedded. And then it opens up in a new tab and it shows the PDF in PowerPoint. And I can edit here. I can change stuff here. So FuseBase has made it possible to work with embedded stuff. Also, this I could just say, open this in a new tab. And it starts opening the tab. It starts opening my PowerPoint. And and I can start working in this.
That's amazing, because I didn't know about that.
It's the same with Word files, and it's the same with, sorry to bother you, Paul, but actually, you don't even know how much your program does.
Yeah, please invite me to your webinar and teach me about FuseBase. Yeah. Peter,
because I work so much with it.
Yeah.
We found out new things, or maybe things that you have your staff build, but it just happened. Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Peter, thanks a lot for your time and sharing your stories and your use cases. We're gonna have we will upload this video and send to all participants and those who wasn't able to join today. So you're gonna have the copy of this video. Please share. Also, if someone wants to reach out to Peter, so Peter, do you want to share your website or something, like to give you a credit?
I think if there are specific questions, you can ask your like Xenia to send emails to me. I'd rather not give my email public, etc. But if people want to reach out, they can. Yes, feel free.
Okay, I meant like in terms of your professional stuff, what you do, if they need some kind of training, coaching from you, like what you specifically do.
I have, as of now, as a consultant, I have enough clients.
Okay, that's actually the best case.
Yes.
Awesome, Peter. Thanks again for your time, and everyone who participated. Thank you for joining today, and we will do more such webinars. Hope you had fun, and have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.